us, every man here in this room, has or had a father. Think of it. Think of your father. Every man in this room has a father. Or maybe you had a father. And your father also had a father. Your grandfather. Right? Is that not possible? No, it has to be, right? There's no other way around it. Every man here has a grandfather. And every grandfather had a father. And every great-grandfather had a father. Had a father, had a father, had a father. You, gentlemen, had fathers on this earth. Father to son, a direct line up through history. And you can go back as far as you want. Go back 1,000 years ago. Go back 1,000 years ago. Every man in this room, 1,000 years ago, had a father on this earth somewhere. Maybe here, Portugal. Maybe in China. You don't know where 1,000 years ago, your father was. But every man in this room had a father standing on this earth 1,000 years ago, for sure. Your direct blood running through your veins from that guy. And in the last 1,000 years, we went to this church here, the church in Coimbra here. It's incredible. 500 years that background has been up against the wall there. Some father, 500 years ago, built that thing. Put it up there. Said, that's great. That's beautiful. I did that with my hands. Now I'm going to go get a girl. Yeah, okay, exactly. Well, I saw the sign and said this was 500 years ago. So, imagine this, guys. Everybody in this room had a father 1,000 years ago. And almost certainly, your father, even you Spanish guys there, your father, 1,000 years ago, standing on this earth, one of those guys for sure in 1,000 years stood on this earth with a sword in his hand. That's your legacy. With armor, a sword in his hand, and he fought on a battlefield. He fought other men on a battlefield. Your father. And imagine this. Your father back then, your ancestor 1,000 years ago, there were men standing beside him on the battlefield who have no living sons today. Their line died out. Their bloodline stopped. They didn't have any sons. Your father on the earth, son, through all the wars and pestilence, and disease, and migration, and famine, and persecution, your blood survived to you today. Your DNA, right down to you today. Your bloodline is strong. The implication of that, and it's amazing to me, is that every man I see in this room, and this is how I see you, every man I see in this room has the blood of champions in them. You have a champion bloodline. Wow, feel the weight of that. You had a father. All of us had a father on this earth. Every one of you men had a father on this earth who stood on this earth with a sword in his hand on a battlefield and fought another man. He had that kind of strength, that kind of battle cry from his lips, rode a horse into battle, rode a ship across the sea. We have that kind of strength and that kind of legacy in your blood. And we're afraid to go talk to this girl drinking coffee over here. I'm sorry, but we need to ask you out. That's perspective for you guys. There's a perspective. Take that into your soul. Take that perspective on. Because when you see a girl in red lipstick and a dress over here that draws your heart, and there's something about her you like, and you stand there with your beer and say, okay, well, and you hesitate, you let your fathers down. You betrayed your legacy. Think of it. Is it not true? What would that guy do if he was here? There's a girl I like. Hello. What's your name? Think of that. That's powerful, especially for you Portuguese guys. Canadian guy have an excuse. Well, no, I don't. You guys have the blood of buccaneers in you, and like it's incredible. World voyagers and adventurers and travelers and treasure hunters. Incredible. That's who you are. That's what I come to Portugal. I see a bunch of treasure hunters and like these are guys I read about when I was a kid. Look at it. Here they are in the room. That's how I see it. That's exactly how I see it. And we're afraid to talk to a girl because, well, we let our fathers down when we don't do it. We let our legacy down. And guess who else we let down if we don't talk to that girl? We let women down too. We just let all the women in the world down. We just failed women because we didn't show up. We didn't show up and say, well, I'm nervous, but here I am. You don't have to know what to say, you just have to show up. Say, that's a girl I like. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I like your friend. It's a powerful thing to do. Very powerful. It's out of your mouth. It comes and you say statements, sentences, ending with a period, not questions. Hey, are you busy later? No. I would like to see you. That's all I'm saying. Because you look great in your dress. I would love to see you again. Wear another dress like that. I'd love it. You just said something strong. You didn't ask her to give you anything. We measure our success, certainly in the seduction community, we measure our success by what kind of results we're getting. What kind of results you're getting when you took this program? Well, I got 4 phone numbers, and phone numbers, gentlemen, are useless. Phone numbers are just paper. Ask around. Ask some of the girls that you know. There are girls who are very nice girls who, if you ask nicely for a phone number, they don't want to be the girl who rejects guys. So they'll give you the phone number. Not really because they really want you to call, but because they're nice. It happens all the time. Girls will give out their phone number because, I don't want them to feel bad. So they give them out to give you the number. Numbers are useless. Numbers, well, I shouldn't say they're useless because you can call her the next day and see her. But we make that our result. We say, yeah, wow, I'm getting all these phone numbers now. Or I'm getting a lot of Facebook connections. Yeah, I'm adding all these girls on Facebook. But it never materializes into women in your life. This is a big difference. We measure our success by the results we're getting. In other words, if I go talk to this girl and Jordan pushes me and I drink another beer and I go talk to her and she smiles at me or she gives me her phone number, I turn around and I go, wow, I got a great result. And I think, yeah, that worked. I got a good result and I'm happy about that. And but here's the thing. If we go up and say, you know what, I like your short skirt, I like your lipstick, your friend is cute, I would like to see you again. If you say that, and she says, I'm not interested, or leave us alone, or I have a boyfriend, we turn around and we say, I failed in my result. I did not get the result I wanted. So now we failed. Now we have a failure in our system. We turn around, we walk away. I failed. I knew it. I'm not tall enough. I wasn't funny enough. I didn't engage her on an emotional level enough. All these things we say to ourselves, right? I should have. We beat ourselves up. We walk away from her thinking we failed because we were trying to measure our success by the result we got. Instead, do not measure your success by the result, by her response, by the result you get from her. Instead, start measuring your success by this. Did you show up or not? Did you do your job as a man or not? Did you do what your fathers would do or not? If you walk up to this girl and say, you know what, I would like to see you again because sorry to interrupt you. You have a great dress, great red lipstick, and I like it, and the hair is great. I would like to see you. That's all I'm saying. Statement, 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 statement. Statement, right? And no matter what she says to you, she smiles, gives you a phone number, goes home and sleeps with you that night, rejects you, turns you away, leave us alone. Anything that she does, it does not matter because you did your job as a man. I showed up. At least I did my job. The rest is up to her. Did I show up? Did I show up and say my truth? Did I say, here's my truth, girl. This is what I want because I'm a man. This is what I want. If you did that, you have done what 95% of the men will never do. You did something very strong. And you spoke it. You said what you want. The ball is always in her court. Always. I had a conference one time, or a talk like this, and one guy at the end said, "You know what? It's easy for you, but I have I'll say it. I have a problem, and I am 32 years old, and I'm still a virgin. And when I talk to girls, that's all I can think of in my mind is like I have no experience with women in bed, and so I'm this 32-year-old virgin, and it's a heavy weight on me, and it affects me, and it makes me so I don't go talk to girls." Okay? You know what I said to that guy? 32-year-old virgin. I said, if I was 32 years old and a virgin, it would be the first thing out of my mouth when I talk to women. It's the first thing I would say. I would go on a date with a girl and I would say, "Listen, I'm going to tell you something about me. It's a little embarrassing, but I'm going to say it anyway. I am 32 years old, and my life has not been as dynamic and interesting as I wanted it to be. I'm still a virgin. And I'm thinking, that's why. And I'm going to change it. I've examined my life. I'm 32 years old, and I'm a virgin. And I'm going to change it. I'm going to become, out here, the best lover a woman's ever known. I'm going to learn how to do this. I've decided that. I'm just telling you. I know it's the first date. But I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my life around. I'm going to become the best lover a woman's ever known. And some woman's going to teach me. Not her. It's important. Some woman is going to teach me how to be the best lover. And there's going to be a woman who's going to teach me. It's going to be great. If you said that, 32-year-old virgin, to a woman like that, she's going to go home and tell all her girlfriends, "Oh, I made a real man. I made a great man." Because it's saying your truth. It's speaking your truth. It's saying something powerful. It's saying a statement. You see how the power of that? As opposed to, well, okay, I don't know, and we're apologizing. We're sorry for everything. The thing is this. We are men with that legacy, with that power that's been given to us as a gift from our fathers. We have the weight of the earth beneath our feet. You have the Portuguese dirt beneath your feet. That created this dirt, the food we ate. Joao's mother's been making us incredible Portuguese food. That same food was the fuel for your fathers to go out there and conquer Brazil. Fill up Brazil with children. Right? This is this room. That's you guys, not me. You did it. We've forgotten that we're men and women are women, and we like that, and that's a good thing. We are apologetic because we like women. We apologize because we are sexual. We can't do that. We're taught all our lives, well, we have to be respectful and look in the woman's eyes and don't look at her ass, because that's disrespectful. No. We're men and we love women. We love the aspect of women. We love the curve of women. We love the shape of women. We love the way the women smell. How many here love women? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you really love women. Look around the room. Look around the room, everybody. Okay. Now watch what just happened here. Did you notice yourselves? I said this question. Who here loves women? Raise your hand. And what happened? You guys were like this before, sitting and taking notes, listening. Your brow was like this. And when I said, who here loves women? Raise your hand. Your back went like this. You sat up in your chair. Your face went bring. Yeah. The whole room changed. The whole energy of the room changed because you love women. Now my next question to you, gentlemen, if you love women as much as the way you just said you do, if you love them with that much that it brings a smile to your face, then why do women never see that part of you ever? Why is it when you meet a pretty girl, you're being the cool guy? Hey, nice to meet you. Why do they not see the love of women on your face when you see a woman? Great. Girls, all for me. Thank you. It's beautiful. Thank you, girls. You wear short skirts just for me. Thank you. What's your names? That same delight that I saw in this room here, if you have that on your face when a woman enters your room, enters your presence, your life will change. There's nothing needy about it. It's not, hey, hi, you like me? No, it's not needy. It's a man saying, I like women, wow, and a woman just came near me, I can feel it, I can feel the energy, I smell it, it's great. You see the difference in that? There's no neediness there. Women know the difference. You guys can, guys can try and learn pickup lines and learn, memorize things to say, okay? And then they, and try and put on a certain persona, a certain way of your face, so that you're aloof and uninterested. So that you're like, you see this pretty girl over here, but you're like, hey, how's it going? And you try and you use your opening line on her, and you're just kind of dismissive and aloof and this kind of being distant because you don't want to look needy. Women know the difference. You cannot fool a woman when it comes to this kind of stuff. Women have told me this. I can see a man's entire belief system from head to toe when he walks up to me. I know what he's thinking. Doesn't matter what he says. Doesn't matter how he's acting. I know what's really going on. I can tell. Women have far more experience in this. Far more experience in reading men than men will ever have of reading women. Women have been reading faces their whole lives. We have not. There was a study done that I read about where they took, scientists took a mother and a small little girl, like a 1 year old or 2 year old girl, and they took 100 of these mothers and little girls, and they said, okay, you can go into this room with your child one at a time, one mother and one little girl, and there's toys all over the room and cameras everywhere. And the only instruction they gave to the mother was, your little girl can play with any toy in the room, let her play with anything, but in the center of the room, on a table, a low table, was a toy cow. There was a cow sitting there in the middle of the table. And the instructions from the scientists, or the researchers, was, your child can play with anything in the room, any toy, there's lots of toys there, but she cannot touch the cow. Make sure your little girl does not touch that cow. So the mother would take the little girl into the room and say, okay, sweetie, you can play with all these great toys, but you can't play with that cow. You can't touch that cow. And of course, what happened? Now the cow became the object of desire for the little girl, and she's over here playing with the doll, and she's looking at the cow. Over here. She's playing with this toy over here. She looks at the cow, and then she looks at her mother's face. And the mother just down here like this, and all the mother has to do is raise one eyebrow. And the little girl turns away from the cow and plays with another toy. All the little girls did this. And they're like playing with the toys, They never touched the cow. They looked at the toy cow because they wanted it so badly now, of course. And they looked at their mother's face. And the mother's like, play. And it went repeated, little girls. Then they did the same experiment with little boys. And they said the same instruction. The mother said, okay, sweetie, you can play with any of these great toys in here, but you can't touch that cow. You cannot touch the cow. No. And of course, what do little boys do? They headed straight for the cow. The mothers had to physically stop them. No, you play with this truck. Here's a car. No, and the boys wanted the cow because it's the object of desire. And the mothers had to physically stop the boys. And never once did the little boys look at their mother's face. That's the difference between men and women right there. Women have been reading faces their whole lives, checking in, getting consensus, making sure everybody's okay, and we have not. The toy cow was the object of desire, the great goal. Men want this great goal, women want this great goal, but men see only the goal. And they head toward it. Yeah, okay, whatever, I got to get this. That's how men operate. So they're not, and women want the same thing, it's just as desirable, right? But they want to do it in relationship to others. Make sure mother's okay. So they're always checking in. We have this game in Canada where there's a pile, or a little hill, and it's called King of the Hill. You have that here? King of the Hill. And it's the little boys trying to be the top and push the other ones off, and push, fight to be the top of this little hill. And you have that in England, right? What, king of the hill? No, okay. If you're the king, if you're the little boy on top of the hill, and everybody's trying to knock you off, and they're trying to get on there. Little girls in Canada play the same game, but they do it in relationship to others. When a little boy plays king of the hill, he's fighting the other boys to get to the top. Yay! And then he gets knocked off and he goes and tries it again. The little girls, they do it, but they say, okay, I'll go on the top first, and then you take a turn, and then let her go. So they all want to be the king of the hill too, but they do it in relationship to others. That's why women know what your belief system is. They can read on your face if you're trying to say something funny and cool. They can tell. And here's what happens. Here's what happens. You have an opening line memorized, and you're trying to be cool and aloof, and you say, hey, would you like to, I don't know how you do it. Would you like to hang out sometime? Trying to be interested, or not interested in cool and stuff like that. And you know, she's standing there, she's thinking, you know, it's kind of cute. And he smells good. And I'm really horny right now. Ovulating. And he's the only guy that came out and talked to me today. Everybody else is standing around. And I know that, you know, she knows what he's, you know, that it's a shield, it's a mask. But I like this guy, I kind of like him. And she said, yeah, I'll get together with you. And we think, wow, the opening line worked. It worked. I should do that more. Be more and more cool and distant. It's crazy. But that's how it goes. Women go, I like this guy, and he's the only one talking to me, and I like him. It's like we all have our masks, and we think that's the way to be. And it's everywhere in the world, guys. I've seen it everywhere. Where you can have these four guys here are all best friends since school, since they're boys, little boys. These four are best friends, and they're waiting for him to arrive. Waiting for him to arrive. It's Friday night. They're having some drinks at his house, and they're going to go out that night and go chase some girls or whatever. So they're drinking and making fun and having, and they've known each other for years, these four. They're waiting for him to come, and then they're all going to go out. Okay? These four guys, how are they acting hanging in the house? The football game's on, they're laughing, they're telling dirty jokes, they're telling fart jokes, they're laughing, they're punching each other in the arm, whatever, they're making fun of each other, they're jumping around, they're laughing. None of these guys is in his head thinking, oh, I shouldn't say that. What if they don't think it's funny? They just blurt. Just saying whatever. Like swearing, dirty jokes, yeah, whatever. Right? This is how guys act. He finally arrives, and he comes to the door, and he walks to the door, and there's a beautiful girl with him. A pretty girl. And he goes, hey, guys, I'm sorry I didn't let you know, but this is Melissa, and she just moved to this town. She works at my office, and she doesn't know anybody, and she asked if she could come out with us tonight, because she doesn't know anybody. So this is Melissa. And so Melissa gets introduced to these four guys, and she doesn't know anybody, so she wants to meet new people, so she's being smiling nice, hi, 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 right? And what do these four guys do? They go like this. Hey, nice, Melissa, okay, nice to meet you. So guys, where will you go out tonight, huh? What do you think? Right? They walk around with their, like this, imaginary laps, you know? Right? Because they don't want to, because there's a cute girl just entered, I can't be myself, because myself sucks, so I got to put on this mask, this shield, I have to be cool, I have to be like this interesting guy now. You see? And the amazing thing about it is, gentlemen, the very thing that girl would be attracted to the most in these four guys, they just killed it. Them telling dirty jokes, laughing, jumping around in the furniture, making fun of each other. If they would stay in that mode, the girl would think, wow, these guys are great. Because that's the real you. Instead, we're trying to be like cool now. I have a girl here, yeah, so I'm cool. You see? It's in Canada. I don't know about Portugal. It can't be Portugal, surely not. In Canada, our whole culture, my whole culture, the reason I had no understanding of girls when I became 19, 20, 21 years old is because I was taught by Western society that being sexual as a man is a bad thing. You have to hide that you have to be respectful, and you have to hide that whole side of you, and you can't show that. And so I spent my early years hiding the fact that I love women. I love women. I want women in my bed. I like it. I like that ass. It's a great ass. I want that. And I've been hiding it all of those years. So and we've been taught that in the West. I don't know about Portugal, but certainly in the West. And the way I always say it is this, guys. We've been hiding that sexual energy from the entire world. There's an energy field that starts from here, from your heart, I would say. This is how I imagine it, this is how I picture it. It starts from here. Your energy field starts from here, and there's an energy that goes up from all of us, that goes up and out into the world. It's an upward flowing energy. It flows up and out. It's you being charming and funny. It's high energy. It's you being respectful, kind. It's you opening the door for a girl. It's you taking coats and, hey, can I get you another beer? It's a great high energy. It's a good energy. It's charming, it's storytelling, it's funny, it's interesting. It's a great, solid, masculine energy, but it comes in the world like this. Everything about it is high. Your eye contact is high, your demeanor, your voice is high. Imagine if you were on a job interview and you're sitting across the desk from the guy who's interviewing you. You sit up straight, you look him in the eye, and you have a high energy, yes, so I worked here and I can do this, and it's a high energy. Do you understand what I mean? A high flowing energy of the world, which is charm, charisma, humor, all the great things of this energy of man. Now imagine from the same center of gravity here, your heart, you have another energy field that goes down and out into the world. Down and out. That's your sexual nature. That's your darkness. That's your danger. That's your sword of the fathers. That's your legacy of the fathers. That's you standing on the earth and feeling, yes, that's your adventurer spirit. That's your mystique. That's your treasure hunting soul that goes down to the world. And the problem we have is we're all top-heavy energy and nothing else. Even the entire instruction out there, all the workshops and seminars and stuff, is teaching you how to have better opening lines, how to tell stories, how to be more funny, how to be all these kinds of things. It's teaching you how to have all this upper energy, but it's never teaching you how to have this lower energy, which we've cut off from the earth. This is why we're top-heavy. We have all this, we learn all this kind of charm and storytelling, and this is why we're nice guys in women's eyes. We have all of the elements of a nice guy. Yeah, I'll open the door for you. I'll get your coat. Can I get you some more wine, girls? We have this great upper energy, but we never have this lower energy, which is our desire to conquer the world, to be destroyers and defenders of the world. We don't have our masculine, lower, dark energy into the world. And that's why women say, where are the men? There's lots of nice guys around. There's guys that, I'll go on a date with them, I guess, but they never feel it in here. Women never feel it in here. Because we never show it. We're afraid to show that we're men, and I like women, and I'll bend you over if you come near me, respectfully. That's the key. Because if you're all this top energy, you're the nice friend. You're a great guy, always fun. He'll drive us, he'll take us to the party. Yeah, he's fun at the party. He sits around, he tells some jokes, he's cool. But they never feel it in their body that, oh, this guy's, there's something about him. And if you're only this energy this way, and you don't have it balanced with respect and charm and humor and all this great stuff, then you're a pig. Then you're like staring at her tits. You're the creep. This guy's creepy. We don't like him. You see? But if you have both, and it's rare, You're this guy who's charming, respectful, opening the door, taking coats, and also at the same time, the women know if they come near you, you're going to bend them over. That's right, don't forget it. I like women, you got a great ass, girl, I'll take your coat. That feeling of this is what we're missing. Women are starving for it all over the earth. When they find it, they're shocked. There's something about that guy. Ooh, he's not the tallest guy. He's not very good looking, but there's something about him. I got to stay away from him. That's perfect. You see? This is what we're missing. Have the balance of both. It's like a tree. And imagine a tree, beautiful leaves and birds and flowers in the tree, and it's great. You want to grow that and make it a blossom. It's a beautiful thing. But you need the roots into the earth, which is your Portuguese legacy, gentlemen. That's you. That's you in populating the population of Brazil. With your seed. That's you. And we need that. Women are craving for it, are praying for it. Can I only find a guy like this? Instead, they get these nice guys who are like learning how to tell stories and and this kind of stuff. And hey, well, maybe we can hang out. I don't know. See how it goes. See how it goes. You see? Does that make sense? You guys understand what I'm saying? You get it? It's a strong thing I'm saying. Hang on. Hold your question. I'll take it. Okay? Because I want to say this. I've been doing this for 10 years, guys. I've been talking to groups around the world. Men's groups, mixed men and women's groups, universities, lectures, women's groups. I just talked to a women's conference in Sweden a few weeks ago, a month ago. I was invited to talk to a group of women about more than this in Sweden. I went and talked to, I was the only guy there at this conference. I'm speaking to a women's conference. Saying the same thing I'm saying right now. I said the same thing that I'm saying right now. I'm not an instructor of women, but I tell them this is what we're telling the men. It's a great thing. We're doing something good for the men, for you. It's a good thing we're doing. It's a great thing we're doing. And I've been doing this for 10 years. And I'll tell you something. I went to Nicaragua. I told you I've been writing a book. I've been writing a book for 7 years. A book about women. I just finished it. Just finished this crazy book. And it's just now in the last rearranging stages and going to be out this summer, so watch for it. Watch for it. And it's a book of experiences of women and knowledge of women that I know, and everything I have in my mind is dumped into this book. I vomited it out into this page. I'm going to get it out into the world and get done with it. Anyway, I was traveling, doing lectures, doing seminars, doing workshops and this kind of stuff, and working on the book only part-time, just little bits here and there, and it wasn't going fast. So about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, I disappeared and I went to Nicaragua. And I moved into the jungle of Nicaragua by the sea, where nobody spoke any English, into a tiny village with only Spanish-speaking people. And I lived in the jungle, and I sat there and I worked on this book. With not very much electricity, I wore the same shorts, the same t-shirt every day. And I worked on that book. I disappeared from the whole society. And I sat there, and I had nothing. I had a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, a little bed, a little writing desk, and the people in the village would come around and celebrate and sing songs. And they had nothing. They were poor, 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 poor. And I thought, wow, what do we really need in this world? And I came out of that after those months in the jungle in Nicaragua, and I went straight from there to Amsterdam, where I did a major weekend intensive with a big group of guys. So I was like from the jungle into this like big city and all this. And my message there, because I came from that, was this. And it's a strong message. I'm going to say it strong. Every great life has had in it a great renunciation. Let me say it again. Every great life has had in it a great renunciation. Does anybody not understand what I'm saying? You have to renounce what isn't working for you. So let me say that in Portuguese. Can you say that in Portuguese? Every great life has had a great renunciation.
Todas as grandes vidas tiveram sempre uma grande renúncia.
There's no other way. I've been doing these seminars and talks and people for years, and we buy another book that has the answer in it, and we put it on our shelf. We don't have to read it because we bought it. It's right there. We don't actually have to read it because at least I have the answer right there. We buy another program. We take another workshop. We do this kind of stuff, and we think that gives me the answer. We write down affirmations and we tape them onto our mirror, and we repeat these to ourselves in the morning when we look at ourselves in the mirror. I'm a good guy. I don't know what they are. Affirmations, right? You understand what I'm talking about? We've been doing it for years. And it's no longer enough. It's no longer enough to just buy another book. It's no longer enough to go to another workshop. It's no longer enough. It's not enough. If you want big changes in your life, and I think you do, you have to change everything. No more small steps. No more, okay, well, I got another book. Yeah, this is a great self-help book. It's all, I tell you, it's all wrong. I'll say that strong. Self-help, in my mind, is dead. It's time to say, I don't have all the answers. I'm not enlightened. I don't have all the tricks. But I'm going to stand on the earth with the blood of my fathers coursing through my vein, and I'm going to stand on the earth, and I'm going to move forward. We think it's good enough to read another self-help book. It's no longer good enough. Every great life has had in it a great renunciation, gentlemen. You have to cast away what isn't working. Am I saying that right? You guys understand what I'm saying? It's strong. And not everybody will listen to this. That's okay too. Not everybody will stand on the earth and say, you know what, I want something more. No more. No more to the old story. Well, I can't because I didn't have this opportunity. No more to that old story and say, you know what, I want something different. How? Forget how. Don't worry about how. Just make a decision you want something different and want it strong. And you want to have that legacy. You want to create that legacy for you going forward. Because this is your job as a man. I tell you, this is what we're missing. That strength and conviction of that period. How? I don't care if you're a 32-year-old virgin. It doesn't matter. You're still... If you stand up on the earth and say, this is what I want, and you say to women, this is what I want, I'm a 32-year-old virgin, I'm going to change, I'm going to become a great lover, that's what I'm going to do. You just became a real man. That 32-year-old virgin that says that is just a man, a strong and real man, is the father who stood on the battlefield with a sword in his hand. He's just a man, the same, he's a real man just like that is. When he stands up here and says, no more. No more of the old story. No more small questions. The size of your life is determined by the size, how do you say it? The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. If you ask, well, this girl texted me and I'm not sure what to say back. Should I wait 3 days before I text her back? That's a small question. If instead, you were sitting there in your chair and thinking, how do I become this great dynamic lover of women? How do I become this guy who has women in my life and women can't stop thinking about me? That's a big question. That's a quality question. That's a great question to sit in. Ask yourself this. Have you ever been a woman's fantasy? Wow, what a question. Isn't that, you feel that right here? Has any woman ever laid in her bathtub or in her bed touching herself, thinking of you? Wow, because she's thinking of somebody. She's thinking of somebody when she's playing around down there. Yes, she is. Is it you? If not, then why not? And that's the only question you have to have. Why not? I want that. I want that. That's a quality question. That's not, well, should I text her? It's a small question, guys. You see the difference? The size of your problems is the size of your life. If your problem is how to get this girl to text you back, or how to pay your phone bill, how do I pay it? That's a small problem to have. That's small. If you have big problems, like how do I become the world's greatest lover, or how do I get water to this village in Africa? That's a big problem now. How do I do this in Africa? Do you think the guy that's trying to help the villages in Africa get water cares about his cell phone in Portugal? No. His phone bill? No. You've got bigger problems. I don't have time